been a while. It's been a long while. It's been a long month mixed with hot weather, chilling temperatures, strong winds, high rain, storms, the rise of COVID. You name it, we've had it in August. And it is no exception that this is going to be and has been a very strange month as we reach the end of it, because we're recording this on Bank Holiday Monday. Hello, this is RB in the GP, welcoming you back to a pickups video, and the first of about 4 we have for the month of August. We did one right at the very beginning, and since then I've done absolutely bugger all in terms of getting videos out because I've just been too busy. I went back to work. I had half of July off, went back to work, and that was it. Gone. 4 weeks have gone, another week to go, and then I'm off again for another week, which is fantastic. So there'll probably be some more output there. Anyway, yeah, Retro Bear in the gaming pantry in case you are here for the first time. If you are here for the very first time, those introductions are far more coherent if you go back and watch them, previous episodes. But thank you very much indeed for choosing this channel as your viewing time today, and you'll probably realise I wasted possibly 20 to 30 minutes of my life watching it. But it's great to have you here. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you do like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and tick the bell for notifications if YouTube works, which I don't think it has been recently. If you are back here again, thank you very much for your continued support. It is much appreciated. And I'm just wondering where we go next. Let's address the game in the room, shall we? Let's go address the game in the room, which is Tomb Raider on the 360, which is a slight departure because I don't like putting 360 games on the background because they keep falling asleep. Well, it turns out the console kept falling asleep, so I turned the setting off, and now what I appear to be getting is that the controller falls asleep. So what the hell have I done with that? Oh, it's over there. There we go. So this keeps switching itself off. So if it does sort of tell me to press button A in the background, and if I can remember what I'm doing, I shall press that though again. But yeah, a Lara Croft game in the background, which is all rather good, isn't it? Really, that's where we sort of started our gaming experiences back in the mid '90s with square boobed Lara, as she was commonly known back then. I'd like to apologise to female viewers for that comment there. I hope it hasn't offended you, although my analytics do tell me that no females watch my channels. It's hardly surprising, really, with comments like that. But no offence meant by anybody, just having a bit of a laugh and a joke. It's been a very strange day. Long day yesterday, which is why I'm in a very strange mood today. But that's for another video. That's about 3 videos down the line. We've got pickups to show, damn it. And a new angle as well. I think it's a slightly new angle from before. Everything else is where it should be. The air's getting thin. Good God, look at that there. I tell you, if that was a thatched roof, mate, they'd be sort of doing you a quote for tiling. It's shocking, it really is. Yeah, it's a slightly different angle, which is why I usually look over there towards the camera, but today I'm looking over there, and everything's sort of slightly out of kilter. You can see Retro Bear in the corner is taking up box balancing. He's doing very well so far. And Basil's still got that stupid expression on his face. But yeah, the gang's all here. The YouTube of the Month trophy, which I won maybe 11 months ago now, 10 months ago now, that's still up there. And all this plastic tat is in the background. Right, so yeah, this is just going to be straightforward pickups. Usually I do a few shout-outs, a few different things thrown in, but I've become so far behind. I'm terribly behind with these videos. I've got 3 more to film after this, so I'm just going to keep going. This is going back to 8th of August, I think it was. That's about as far back as 3 weeks ago, near enough. And just a general sort of walk round and have a mooch what was in the shops. And this also contains some eBay stuff as well, which is rather unusual for me because I don't usually do eBay, but I have done recently. What I was going to say, yeah, so I can't even remember where this came from now. I can't even remember where this come from. God, this is all CX stuff, I think. Because recently, as I know some people are having a lot of success with charity shops and car boots and things like that. You know, in terms of me, you know, swing and a miss, nothing at all. I'm just getting absolutely zip all out of them. I think across these 4 videos that I'm going to film, I've maybe got 2 charity shop pickups out of all that I've managed to pick up. In fact, I think probably since lockdown started, and to where we are now in the 5 months that period finished and we all went back out and started shopping again, I've had less than 10 games out of charity shops since the middle of June. It's pathetic. I mean, all I hear at the moment is charity shops aren't taking any more stock in. We're not taking more games in. No, we're not taking any more stock in, full stop. We've got too much stuff. Well, they must have had bag loads of crap to start with because, yeah, I just don't seem to be finding any. More on that in a future video because, sorry, I'm just looking at something over there which is slightly concerning, but that's all right. No, it's nothing, no fire or anything. It's all right. I'm just some beeping over there, flashing at me. Yes, that's to come in the next video because we have the Epiphany in the 15th of August. It's weird to t-shirt Back to the Future is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going back to what was the future then, which is now the past. Before we move on this, let's do some pickups then, shall we? Before people realise that this is just the insane ramblings of a madman. Yeah. So what I've got here is one charity shop pickup, and the rest is CEX, which it's never good. I don't have anything against CEX. I've said before, they're very good at what they do. Sometimes they're not very good at what they do, and we all have a bit of a moan about it, but we tend to forget the good stuff. But I've always said if I start relying on places like CEX, where you're paying retail prices for stuff, if I'm starting doing that, then that's the wrong side of it. I always like to try and pride myself for finding, stuff. I don't say good stuff in places which most people don't tend to find them. So yeah, it's been a strange old run, and you'll see this is a strange old run as well. So the one game I did get in a charity shop, and I think I maybe been to one, possibly two town centres before this. Absolutely no luck whatsoever. So the one game I did get in a charity shop is also from a recent console, PlayStation 4. I don't get very many PlayStation 4 games, do I? No. But we've had a conversation before about that, and people keep saying, "Oh, PlayStation 4 is reasonably cheap to collect for." No, it's not. It's still reasonably expensive to collect for. And I've got about 6 games for it. This will be number 7, and I don't play them anyway. So I don't really think it's going to be much point in me picking any more up. However, right price, it's only fair enough to try and pick it up. So the one I did manage to pick up, which I paid for £1 for, I think this CX sold it for 4, Formula 1 2015. Get nothing special, but I do like my racing games. Anybody who's watched my Barely Played series has realised that's probably just turned into a series of racing games, because that's all I seem to be playing, apart from Donkey Kong Country. I think that's the only non-racing game I played in that series. Can't remember what I played now, and I've actually got another one recorded, which is another racing game, because I just can't do it. I must change the game title of that series to sort of like Barely Raced or something. Or Barefaced Cheek, because it's going to be it feels like that. That's the back of the box. Anyway, that was £1. I'm definitely going to get some playment. I've invented a new word. Playing and enjoyment out of this game, because it is a sort of game I will play. So although it's PS4, it's not necessarily going to be something which is going to sit on the shelf or the floor in my case, because that's where they sit. Next up, PlayStation 3. Actually, no, I'll tell you what. I'll stop that, because I did go in to CEX on the proviso of picking up some Wii games, because I've sort of just tried to shift my focus a little bit. I may have mentioned this in my last pickups video for the first one in August, but I'm just trying to sort of focus on a few systems now rather than just collect crap. And we'll see how that sort of fell over in the sort of space of a couple of weeks. But I went in with the intention of buying some Wii games, which they got, and these are the 3 I managed to pick up. I went in with these 3 specifically. I think I can remember how much all these cost. First one up is Little League World Series Baseball, which I paid £1 for. I've seen it more expensive than that in the past. I've left it behind because I'm not paying more than £1 for a game I'm not really going to sit down and play much of. 4 players, 26 teams to choose from, 90 collectible achievements. Oh, there we go. Some achievements, Rob. You might be interested in that. Authentic fields and uniforms. So if you like your baseball, this could be your sort of thing. So I paid £1 for that. Then this one again has been more expensive in the past. I know Wii prices are sort of crashing like a pile up on the motorway. I think a better analogy Apologies. So I picked this up, which is Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Get it right, Disney. And it also says Disney's Alice in Wonderland. So as we all know, we file that under D for Disney, not A for Alice. You could file it under C for crap Tim Burton films. I don't. It's another one really. You could try that. But very nice condition copy. This one I've seen go. It's been as high as £6 to £8 before at CEX. So I've got this for £3. Again, I'm not particularly interested. I didn't particularly like the film. If you listened to our TMB podcast a few weeks ago, you would have realised. You'd remembered. We talked about licensed games. We didn't mention that one. It wasn't very good, possibly. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of bad games in that episode. There might be a little thing that'll go bing now. We'll tell you to go and listen to that episode. But the game I did go down for, which I was very, very surprised at seeing, is I'd never seen it before. I didn't realise there was actually a genre. This game genre was actually on the Wii. I was even more surprised by actually who made it. So this its official title is MotoGP, but I think it's actually MotoGP 06. But you'll notice there, it's Capcom. You can see that there. There we go. There's a bit of focus going on there. Capcom made racing games. I didn't realise that. You associate Capcom with games where you beat crap out of each other. I'd never seen it before, so I thought, well, I don't mind paying a little bit more for something I haven't seen. It doesn't look too bad, actually. So paid £6 for that. So those 3 Wii games set me back a tenner, which is, I know, way, way more than I spend. People now sort of falling off chairs if they haven't fallen off chairs before. And then while I was in CX, I thought, well, it's the last place I've come to today. I'm not going anywhere else after this. This is it. You know what? I think I might have a bit of fun. I'll just try and see what else they got in there. And I thought I shan't spend more than £1 on anything else in there. I'll just see what they've got, anything interesting there that I haven't got, that I'm looking for in particular, which usually isn't the case. And I had a bit of fun. It's unusual because I don't usually have fun with game hunts anymore. I sort of come back rather depressed and have a bit of a cry, and then worry about throwing everything out and selling it all. But then we come back to something else. So what I've got here, 6 games. I did make a special exception, so I'll leave that one until the very end, which will tie on to the other stuff I'm going to show. Let's show you the games that I paid 50p for each, first of all. A game I've already got on the 360, which is The Club. But I like Sega. Sega's a big thing for me, so you can see Sega logo down the bottom there. Like I said, 50p. Nice sort of inside cover. You'll just see there's some background behind the disc and the manual. Just try and... There you go. Let's take that and show you there. I think it's meant to be reasonable as a game. You probably wouldn't want to spend more than 50p on it. But I was just walking around CX to try and find games that, sort of cost £1 or less that I hadn't got. And this was the only one I think they got in CEX that wasn't wasn't a sports game. Which I thought, I'm not wasting that money on a sports game. Then I did say in my last video that I was trying to maybe focus a bit more on picking up Wii. So I picked 3 Wii games up, and then a bit more on the Xbox, not the Xbox. It's the first Xbox. Every Xbox has been called something different. It's been called Xbox 360. It's been called Xbox One, X1 Series X, Xbox, God knows what. So 2 games that I hadn't got, and again these are pretty generic. FIFA 06. We've all seen a FIFA game before, but you're going to see another one again. It's actually a nice copy, and it's got all the manuals and stuff with it. So 50p on that one. I know it's a FIFA game. It's not particularly exciting. Even less exciting probably is this one, is Lynx 2004, but again that was 50p as well. Now interesting, I've tried to pick this game up before many times in the past, but they've always been crap old copies. It's also got a 2-month trial for Xbox Live in there, which hasn't been used, which is always we always like to find these things in there. Again, nice condition copy. It's nothing special. It's golf. If you like golf, then that's the sort of thing you'll pick up. But there we go. So 2 Xbox games I hadn't got, 50p each. Picked up a PlayStation 2 game. I really should be picking PlayStation 2 games up because I've got nowhere to put them. Nowhere to put them in the slightest. I'll just move that around there. See, Nowhere to put them. Look at that. Nowhere to put them. You may just have seen what's possibly coming soon. The eagle-eyed amongst you. But yeah, I've just got to stop picking PlayStation 2 games up. It's just ridiculous. But I did pick this up because one, I haven't got it, obviously, and two, it was actually a very, very nice condition copy of. And this is Reign of Fire, from that terrible Christian Bale film about dragons. But it looks like it's hardly been touched. Again, very, very nice condition. And that was 50p, I think it was, or maybe even 75. I can't remember. It was 4 weeks ago, and that was a very, very long time. And a lot of things have happened. I've been to sleep since then. And then finally, not finally, next to last, I actually picked this game up, which is... I was under the impression this game was absolute rubbish. I've since been told by Bangkok Ian that this is actually one of his favourite games on the 360. And I think he's desperately trying to find another copy of it. He lives over in the Far East now. But I just thought it would look rubbish from the cover. I thought, well, I've got to have that because I've never seen a copy of it before. I'm not sure whether it's going to have a manual on it. I expect it would do. But this is the outfit on the 360. It's done by THQ, which is never always a particularly good sign. But again, it's got one of those lovely sort of covers inside. There's a disc. I'm not sure. There should probably be a manual with that. I'm guessing there is. But it's sort of like... that's the best way to describe it. If you play the conflict games, it's sort of like that, but set in World War II. And it's you just go around blowing things up and shooting things. It's good fun, actually. It looks worse than it actually is. It's a pretty good game, but Ian swears by it. He says it's really, really good. So there you go. I've bigged it up for you, mate. I've bigged it up for you. And then the last game, I made an exception for on this one. The reason being is because I was absolutely excited about this, and again, it's one of my other sort of sidelines that I do. I've done, well, I've shown you so far sidelines. I've shown you games, I've shown you wrestling videos. Here's another sideline that you may or may not know about: cartoons. And I picked this up because I thought this was simply too good an opportunity to pass by, and this is Looney Tunes Duck Amuck. Now, anybody who knows anything about cartoons will know that that is one of the great cartoons of all time. Shan't spoil it for you. I mean, well, should I be putting spoilers in for a 70-year-old cartoon? Probably not. I don't know. I'm not going to mention it. It's 7 minutes of your life. Go and watch it. It's just completely different for its time. Everything with it. I've had a quick go at it. It is really good. It's not, I would say, a game which is going to test you. It's not really a game that you're probably going to go back and play a great deal if you play all the mini games, but it is really, really good. And I paid £2 for it. I think that was all right, and I've already got some enjoyment out of it anyway. I've nearly probably got my £2 worth. I'm very easily satisfied, but yeah, it's quite close to actually being like an interactive cartoon. That was the whole purpose of the cartoon itself. 7 minutes short from about 1951, I think, something like that. But yeah, great fun. Pick it up if you see it. It's definitely worth, at that price, don't pay any more for it because you'll be done. So those were my actual physical pickups. Now, I've sort of developed this habit, or I had developed this habit, which I've now had to quickly get out of before it sort of cost me house and home. And that's going back on eBay. Now, compared to what some people spend on eBay, it's not. It's nothing. But if I start getting the habit of doing that again, or getting too close to it, it's going to be more than a habit, and it's just going to be throwing money down the drain, which I don't want to be doing, especially at the moment with the way things are, and the fact that this is a hobby which is sort of slightly, it's got out of control in the past. I'm not determined to get it. Anyway, another story for another time. And I was playing Need for Speed. There we go. I thought that would happen. There we go. Hopefully that'll be the only time, so if I'm quick through the rest of these, we should be alright. I was playing Need for Speed... Shift, wasn't it? No. Was it Shift? I've put them all away now. I mentioned it in one of the chats the other day. I can't remember what game it was now. And it was one of the Need for Speed street racing games anyway. And bear in mind, this game's probably about 12, 13 years old, something like that, 10, 12 years old. Put it in and automatically it said, oh, free download available. Download this Coke Zero track pack. And I thought, oh, well, if it still works, it still works after 12 years, so I'll go put it in. Lo and behold, it worked. But I had to wait ages for it to download because it was quite a big size of file. So I thought, well, while I'm waiting, I'll just quickly jump on eBay and have a look. And then saw some DS games which were up for auction. And that was really unusual because I don't usually buy DS stuff. But it was only a £10. It was £10. Yeah, it was relatively cheap at the time. I thought, oh. So I had a look at some of the games in there. Now, some of the games, again, I must be honest with you, because it was going back into July, end of July, I can't remember how much some of this stuff was going for. But I remember sort of doing a calculation. I thought, well, if I was to buy these games separately in CEX, it would probably set me back around about 35 quid. And I thought, well, if I can get this cheap enough, it'll work really, really well. There were 4 loose games in this bundle as well, so it's not all boxed up, but everything that was boxed is boxed and fine. So I got 14. I eventually won the auction. Now bear in mind that I started this auction, bidding this process with about an hour and a half to go at 10:30 on the night. So I had to sit up until midnight to see if I won it or not. Sober eBaying is not the greatest thing in the world to do. Anyway, I did manage to win the auction, so I got 14 DS games, 10 box, 4 loose, for the princely sum of about £12.50. So less than £1 a game. But also, like I said, probably if I bought all these separately, probably would have cost me somewhere around about the £35 mark. So I think that's a good deal. I don't usually sort of get in the habit of buying bundles because most of the bundles that I see has got stuff in there that I've already got. I know people buy bundles because there's 2 or 3 games and then you can make a bit of money off the other ones and the costs outweigh it. But every time I look at a bundle, I go, I've got all of them. Or I need that game, but buying that is not worth that price just to get those games. And it just doesn't quite... I'm not going to sit there doing eBay with a bloody calculator and some abacus and trying to count my fingers and whatever and work out if I'm making any money on it or not. It just, and unless there's a bundle in there with anything that's worthwhile getting in it, I ain't going to touch it. With the DS, I'm fairly safe because I ain't got many DS games. I mean, sort of up there at the moment, there's about 10 of them. So there's not many of them. Most of those, very fortunately, were gifted to me. So thankfully, all these I bought with my own money, which would make a nice change, wouldn't it? Now, you'll have to see what you think about some of these, because some of these I know absolutely nothing about. And some of these I do. So first one up is The Mysterious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All rather exciting. This is a genre I've never really got into. It's a hidden object adventure. I know a good friend of mine enjoys the old hidden object adventures. So this is something I've never really sort of gone down a path of. But if we ever start to sort of go out places again, or I start going away on sort of holidays and weekends away and camping trips and all this business like we used to, should everything sort of change, these are the sort of games I would happily take with me. It sort of like goes back, going back sort of 10 years or so camping and sitting there with a Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance and a box of Marble Lights. Happy days. Listening to the cricket on the radio. I'll tell you something. Yep, so that one there. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Next up, I've got this on the Wii. This is Guinness World Records, the video game. It's one of these sort of little multiplayer games. It's all rather fun, actually. Comes with a lot of instructions, mine. There's a giant instruction manual. And a giant Nintendo Wi-Fi connection thing to go with it as well. But yeah, these are the sort of things that you just put on and they'll pass the time quite nicely if you're having a lunchtime at work or something. Next up, licensed game. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Which is, again, nice and complete. It's what we like to see on these sort of things. Unleash the pirate in you, Gyar. Yeah, that's what we like to see. Bit of the old licensed games on there. I don't know if it's any good or not. I remember the film wasn't very good. First film was great, and the rest of them like crap. Mystery Stories, which I'm sure will have stories that are mysteries. Find the clues, solve the crime, unravel the mystery. Doesn't actually say what it is. It's a bit of a tatty box, this one. I'll say it's a bit of marking on it, but that's fine. Mystery stories. The biggest adventure of all time is about to begin. But yeah, these are the sort of things to work out, and I'm sure it says like age 3+, so I've got a fair chance of doing all right on that. The obligatory Ben 10 game, which appears to be anything. There's also, you'll notice, it sounds broken. It's not. There's actually a couple of loose games in here. The first lot of loose games to show you. There's the inside of the Ben 10 box. We all know what Ben 10 looks like. I still don't know what it is. The Omnitrix is in your control, as it always should be. Slightly harder again. It's ages of 7+. I've got a few Ben 10 games. I've never played any. I know absolutely nothing about it. 2 loose games in this one. Game which everybody seems to be after, which is Dolphin Island. The only reason everybody's after it is because it's in every single bundle you ever see on eBay. Everybody must want a copy of it. This one was one of the more, I think, valuable games, but it didn't come with a box. And this is Rayman Raving Rabbids. I'll stop not showing these off because they're sort of, what's the word? Too small for things like that. So those were 2 of the loose games. What else we got here? This one looked quite scary, but it probably isn't because it's ages 3 and upwards. Salem Secrets, The Witch Trials of 1862 or 1692, which when it originally happened, 1862 was very, very unreported apparently. A Hidden Mysteries game again. Sounds like there's something else in there, isn't there? Is there something else in there, Retro Bear? Yes, there is. There we go, back of the box. 2 more loose games to show you before we show you the inside of the box. Well, let's show you the inside of the box first, then we'll show you the 2 loose games that are in there. One which I've already got for the Wii, which is Spectrobes. And I played that recently, and I have absolutely no idea what's going on with it. And secondly, this was I got a little bit excited about. Enchanted. It's a silly game to get excited about. Yeah, well, I thought it was to do with Tangled, which was a Disney cartoon based on Rapunzel. I thought, oh, that's good. And I got excited because when I actually got up, I thought, hang on a second, that's the wrong one. That's the one that's actually based on the Amy Adams one, where she was a Disney princess in a cartoon form, and then somehow crosses over into the real world in New York, or big city in America. And it was passed the time quite nicely. And I do like Amy Adams as an actress, so I was quite happy to get that game in there. I picked up the Muppets on Blu-ray the other day. She was in that as well, so yes, she's very good. More hidden object games. Mystery Stories Curse of the Ancient Spirits. There's a diver's bell helmet on the front. I am intrigued. Why is there a diver's bell helmet on the front of it? Because it's a mystery story. Unravel the mysteries behind a legendary ghost ship. Ooh. You get my comeuppance one day. Yeah, again, 3 out of 83 and plus. But never play those sort of games. Sort of interesting. Another game I've got on the Wii. Another hidden object game. This is Escape the Museum. I've never played it on the Wii. There we go. I think I'm saving the 2 best to last, to be honest with you. Or 2 of the most valuable ones to last anyway. An earthquake hits the museum. Can you get out? Let's hope so. And then 2 games which don't, sort of do appear to hold the old value. Probably the most obscure film license ever, Journey to the Centre of the Earth, starring Brendan Fraser. Remember him? And some woman I don't recognise. There we go. It's also got some instructions or something in here, I think. Got some instructions? Yeah, paper instructions in there as well. So, nice inside cover. But I think CX was selling this about £5 at the time. So, Terrible film, no doubt about it. Terrible film. No, I can't work out who the woman is it? Someone will tell me. And the other game, which was the most expensive one of the lot, I think traded in for about £8. They were selling for £8, I think, something like that. This is Iron Man. The real shame is this one is just a little bit. You may be able to see it there in the background. Just slightly water damaged cover. It's a bit disappointing on that one. You can probably just see it a little better there. Just on that bottom corner there where my finger is. But yeah, so altogether, all told, all them and a couple of 4 loose games as well for £12.60. I don't think that's too bad. They're certainly better than £1 a game anyway, that's for sure. And I think some of those games probably about £4 to £8 in CEX, so didn't do too bad. And that's that haul for the 8th of August. I'm going to say September there for some reason, but that's in the future. But we're not going there yet. No, where we're going, we don't need games. No, we'd be like Ready Player One. No, virtual reality. Thank you very much indeed for listening to the insane ramblings of a 44, soon-to-be 45-year-old man. It's been a great pleasure talking to you once again. And you're probably wondering what all the fuss is about, but there we go. Do take care of what you're doing. We hope to see you again very, very soon back here in the Game Pantry. But until then, this is the Retro Bear saying toodaloo and bye for now.